The transphobia is probably her least offense. There are two big reasons why people don't like J.K. Rowling. Either you haven't read her books and you just saw her prolific tweets.
Who is this woman? Why isn't someone shutting her up?
Or you are someone who has read the books or watched the movies and you have great love and care for the Harry Potter characters. I, unfortunately, am both. When you read Harry Potter as a child, it's easier for you to just kind of consume and be like, magical land, and then go about your day. But even then, there might be some things that kind of niggle at you where you're like, the representation's kind of weird. And why is she so ugly to fat people? And you kind of continue on. But then you get older, and then your frontal lobe develops, and then you go, that is a weird way to talk about sexual assault.
This is a lot.
This is a lot.
So this is a video off the dome. I don't even have notes. This is from my heart, y'all, of things that J.K. Rowling has done in the Harry Potter books that I truly am like, when I catch you.
It's hair, whack. It's gear, whack. It's jewelry, whack. It's footsteps, whack.
You know, people usually start with Harry, but honestly, I feel worse for Voldemort. Let's start with him. If you haven't read the books or seen the movies, Harry and Voldemort are supposed to be two sides of the same coin, the same person, but if life went differently or whatever, right? They're literally supposed to be the exact same person, but if one of them had love and the other one did not. Now I want you to
be nice.
If you have only seen the movies, I want you to understand that canonically, the reason why Voldemort is such an evil person is because he was born not out of love. I'm not making this up. These are facts and figures, guys. Voldemort, his mom was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and she used a love potion on Voldemort's dad, Tom Riddle, right? Essentially coercing and assaulting him into having sex with her. So he was forced. It was not of his choice or his own volition, right? Because he was being kidnapped and held hostage by Voldemort's mom. So when she became pregnant, literally the love potion made Voldemort all cuckoo for Cocoa Puff, psychopath, evil, because it wasn't real love. Yes, you heard me correctly. Literally, Voldemort is a child who's born from rape. Haha. And due to that, he is evil. Haha. And that's where we're starting, y'all. That's where we start. Number two, I'm just gonna jump all around. We have an issue with diversity, all right?
Be nice.
I understand that if you are a white person, you're gonna write white stories. I get it, because that's what you know, that's what you do. When I write my stories, if I ever publish them, they're gonna have a lot of black people in there, because yes, I get it. But here's the thing though, you cannot write a book that's supposed to be mostly set in the one wizarding school of London. So if you don't know this, again, there's apparently there are like 5 wizarding schools in like the earth, okay? Many wizards, like 5 schools. So the school for all of Europe and greater Europe is literally Hogwarts. Well, not all of Europe, the school of like British UK is Hogwarts. And I understand again, the British UK might be predominantly white, but there's a couple minorities there. There's only 3 Asian characters, and 2 of them are sisters. Yeah, the Parvati twins, and then Cho Chang. And that's the beginning and end of the Asian population of Hogwarts. That's crazy. That's crazy. How does that make sense? So there's 3 Asian people, and then there's 2 black people, no Hispanic people.
Be nice.
Alright. Oh, and then the character Cho Chang, her name is super racist because Cho and Chang are both last names, but they're last names, I'm pretty sure, from like 2 different East Asian cultures, and neither of them are even Chinese. Chang might be Chinese, but I know Cho is Korean. It'd be like if you named a Hispanic character like Mendoza Garcia. Like, I just...
Be nice.
Alright. Next, Harry.
I'm finding it.
It take you that long to find it?
It does.
Be nice.
Quite literally, the Dursleys physically, emotionally, and like every type of way abused Harry for more than 11 years. These people were beating this boy and using him as like some type of servant. Worse than a dog this child was treated. And it's not in any way ever treated with with the seriousness and the gravity that needs to be treated. This child was abused for years. The reason why, and people have talked about and argued about this since the beginning of time, the reason why Harry was sent to go live with his family, the Dursleys, is because basically the Dursleys, they act as a sort of protective layer to hide him, Harry, and his magic from potential evil, right? And I get that. And it had to be a blood relative.
Totally for sure, totally for sure.
But do you know what we didn't have to do? After we took him to Hogwarts at age 11, we never had any reason to send him back. Especially when we knew he was being abused. Like literally you find out, I think you find out like book 4 or 5 perhaps, like basically like later on in the series, that one of his neighbors was a wizard the whole time and was supposed to be there to like be checking on him, did nothing. The entire time he was being absolutely abused. Even if you tried to like be like, oh well maybe she didn't know he was being abused, she literally saw him wearing berackled clothes and like and everyone, their mom, there's no way they didn't hear like Mr. Dursley screaming and insulting this boy up, down, and sideways. Why is Snape the only person who ever spoke out, was like, you literally raised that boy from like lamb to slaughter? Which Dumbledore, I hate Dumbledore. I hate Dumbledore. No. He's a bad person and a bad adult. Like, to be so you know what, we're not gonna get into that. We're talking about J.K. Rowling. Honestly, when you read the books, you really start to understand how J.K. Rowling sees things and like and understands things. And she's a very like
Be nice.
it feels like she's a very emotionally immature person. So whenever she describes women who are supposed to be like evil, it's kind of misogynistic. It's like any woman who's a bad woman is ugly. They have like man hands, a square jaw, a stockish figure. For some reason, J.K. Rowling put a joke in there about Aberforth, who's Dumbledore's brother, having sex with goats.
Be nice.
Alright, women, gender roles, they're trash. Sure, there's like a couple, like, honestly, I'm trying to think about women who are strong here that also pass the Bechdel test. Oh, Rowena Ravenclaw. There we go. Like, so like there's some women there, right?
Whoa, the bar is so much lower than I ever imagined.
But then most of the time it's always pretty much like women taking care of men. Hermione like is the smartest witch of her age. She's quite literally the only reason why Ron and Hermione are even kind of alive. But she's also the one cooking all their meals when they were like on the run from Voldemort. So like I just think that's kind of crazy. Kind of kooky, kind of weird. And my last thing, I'll leave it at this. The way she hates fat people, it's weird. I noticed. It's basically, not basically, it is. Every time you see a fat character in her books, she will describe them as like dim-witted and oafish and like silly. I don't know, it's almost as if them being fat is like a fun inside, I don't know. I was gonna say inside joke, it's not an inside joke, it's a very outside joke. We all see it, and I don't think it's funny. Like, not that all fat people are evil in the series. Like, Dudley, oh actually he's an evil fat. He kind of like, they describe him as being like oafish around. Crab and Goyle, same. Lumbering about, like she always uses words like that. Hagrid, he's a nice fat, but again, stupid. That's how she describes them. I said that was my last thing. That's not my last thing. This is my last thing. This is much a plot point, inconsistency, really not like a J.K. Rowling. You don't seem like not a great person. The Horcruxes. So here's the thing. Again, if you haven't watched the movies, you haven't read the books. The Horcruxes is basically Voldemort taking his soul, breaking it up into separate pieces, so that he could like live longer and like along in his life be evil villain. Who cares? Who cares? For some reason, he only hides them in like the Greater England area. And I just feel, if I took the time to do such dark magic, to take my soul and break it up into pieces, which is some really messed up stuff we really shouldn't be messing with, I'm gonna do a better job at hiding it. I'm not gonna hide them only in places that are connected to me, that people can figure out my personal life, my sad history at the orphanage, that they'd be able to find them and destroy them all, like Harry, Hermione, Ron, and Dumbledore did. And when that one guy, R.A.P., who was that? One of the Blacks? Yes. Sirius Black's older brother, I think. Like, I'd put more effort into this. Like, I'd make one of the Horcruxes like a grain of sand. And I'd hide it in, like, the Mojave Desert. You know what I mean? Come on. Let's think this through. So, I don't know.
Thank you for watching. Yeah.